Alright, so I'm going to be playing in the PD500 with 4-colored Jeskai Ascendancy. So this is mostly a deck that Eggsy has played this season, but it really hasn't seen that much play, but it does seem kind of promising. I have played some Goldfish matches with it, but I haven't actually played a match, so I don't know. I was going to bring Izzet Control, but I'm not really sure what the meta looks like now since I haven't really played much at all this season. Though I imagine it's still probably one of the best decks, Izzet Control. But I don't know, I kind of just wanted to try this out instead. So basically, it's kind of like most seasons, except we have Abundant Growth and Abundant Harvest this season. And Sanctum Weaver is a better dork than normal because of Abundant Growth being an enchantment, as well as just Jeskai Ascendancy. And I'm also playing Sisei's Ingenuity for that reason, as well as Repeal. Because 2 mana draw, 1 mana draw is quite good when you have a Jeskai Ascendancy and you're going off. We do not have Fate Stitcher this season, so the only way to get a dork is to play it before the turn you combo, which does mean that if you only have a Birds of Paradise in play, you kind of just can't combo off with Ascendancy, because you need to be able to make mana. Because a lot of your spells are just going to be more than 1 mana, so you can't just be going mana negative like that. And you can't actually make more mana mid-combo unless it's Sanctum Weaver, because that works with putting more enchantments in play. So you have to have multiple dorks in play unless you have Sanctum Weaver. And we don't have something like Expedite to make that better. We do have several ways to make a land into a creature, but I don't really like those, so I'm not playing them. I would rather just play dorks and have them survive. But yeah, it's otherwise a pretty typical 4-color Jeskai Ascendancy list. Glittering Wish to have 7 copies of Ascendancy, so you always draw it. And it's just a Simic deck with a lot of draw, so you just find your combo pretty consistently. And yeah, we'll see how it does. Alright, it is round 2. I had a bye because I won a tournament earlier in the season. This is actually the smallest 500 ever by 9 players. There are only 34 players. So it's only 6 rounds of Swiss. I don't know what my opponent is on. Island, I feel like that's a good sign for me. My opponent is probably playing mid-range, so the fact that it's blue mid-range is probably good, because it doesn't mean Wrath, necessarily. No way, it's just Izzet Control, right? Uh-oh. Why is it no response instead of okay? That's a little weird. And I don't know why I had to scroll down to get to that. And now it just says the name of the next step instead of okay. Is it actually just Izzet Control? So I do win the game if this untaps, but I'm pretty sure it won't. Wait, there wasn't even an option to say okay to that? What? Okay, I don't know when this update was. I don't really like it though. Okay, let's hope they don't have anything. It actually does just look like Izzet Control though, which is really bad for me, I think. Because its deck is a bit weak to removal. Or just like Wraths. Because you have to untap with Dorks to win. Okay, so it's probably more like a Tempo deck, I guess, with Stoic Sphinx and Malcolm. But yeah, the removal is a bit of an issue. I think Ascendancy is better here. I could get Niv Mizzet. Maybe that would have been better. Get Glittering Wish, take Niv Mizzet. But costing 3 red is a bit difficult. I do play some red lands, and I guess I do have double Abundant Growth, but So maybe, I don't know. Yeah, they just have removal for all of my dorks. They probably have as many removal spells in their deck as I have dorks, and they arguably have more card draw. Until I resolve this Ascendancy, perhaps. But I don't know how I can even resolve it, because I can't actually beat counter spells, really. So I do this, and then I can leave Unending Whisper in the yard while I play Dig. But they have to actually tap out. And this Malcolm is going to get really annoying. Like, this is where I desperately need a Fate Stitcher. Like, the deck is just so much worse into Control, and Control is really good this season. Like, this is one of the best seasons in a long time for Control. And the way you have to build Jeskai Ascendancy is just so bad into Control this season. I guess I have to do this. I can't just do nothing. I'm just gonna die to Malcolm. Like, they do have a counter here. There's no way they don't. Okay, then. Please don't win that. Okay. Well, I'm dead. I'm quite dead. I can at least resolve Ascendancy. So if I have, like, Sylvan Caryatid, I might be fine. And then I have to, like, play a Sweltering, which kills Malcolm. Yeah, that kind of just ends the game, though. That polarity. Like, we had a game if they didn't win that flip, but now it's just over, I think. Wait, I can't even play this. Well, I can, but, you know. So I can target the opponent's creature. Like, why? Why is it like this? There's no okay, unless I have to scroll to find it. But you just have to scroll in general, which makes it so much harder to use the mouse. I guess I have to use the keyboard. Like, why do I have to scroll down for all of these? Is there more text? The button is too big? Okay, so yeah, Fate Stitcher would just win the game. But now I'm just dead. Because there's just no equivalent. And like, even if I had Verdant Touch, that wouldn't do it. Sylvan Awakening would, if I could resolve it. Win Zendikon? Probably not. Oh my. Well, I'm dead. I just have infinite counter spells now. That is way late. Would have been amazing earlier. Probably just gets countered now, because they actually can't answer it without a counterspell. So if this was to survive, I actually could win with just one dork because I could make 2 Ascendancies. Okay, so there is the option for both, but there's like more text here. You have to scroll down to see the regular okay. So I guess I do have to just use hotkeys. I guess I might be able to resolve this now. Does it even matter though? Yes. Like, I'm gonna lose regardless, but they could have like Make Disappear, that's, I guess, Spell Pierce. It's just those two really though. Yeah. I guess I do play this. Okay, well that is a 4 of, and if I had that earlier it would have been amazing for answering the Malcolm, but it's way too late now. It was really that invert polarity winning the flip on Dig that did it. They draw 2. So, it's not impossible for me to resolve Glittering Wish. So I guess it's not really over. And I could slow them down with a repeal on the Malcolm. I don't know, I don't need to play this out. So it is just Izzet control. With Stoic Sphinx. It's really the only abnormal card here. And I guess the removal is... or probably more single target removal. So that's not great. Maybe less Wraths, that means? Because of like Sphinx. Can I just main deck Izzet? I think I can. Though maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. So I play Grid. Grid is very good. Can't really get inverted. Or it's like, it might just fail to get inverted. I don't think I actually main deck that. I can play less enchantments because Sanctum Weaver is more likely to just die. Whisper is only really good when you're already going off, and that's just not that important, I think. Actually being able to start going off is the hard part. This maybe works. It does kind of just immediately lose to a shock. And they play more than 4 copies of shock, though their mana might not be that good at getting a turn 1 red source. Because there's no like fast land, so it's just a pain land or a basic mountain. And if it does survive, I just shimmer into like a Simic land. And then I can play Ascendancy, though that would probably just get countered. I could also top deck a blue source to play an Ascendancy right now. Oh, they just have the shock, wow. Yeah, they just have so many copies of shock in their deck. I don't know how many, it's probably like 8. So, and Sanctum Weaver has 2 health, so I basically need the Hexproof card. And for it to not get countered, and yeah, okay, I just don't have a blue source. I have a lot more green than blue in the deck because there aren't actually that many blue cards. There's a lot more green, and all of the green cards, a lot of the green cards make blue mana, like Abundant Growth, potentially Abundant Harvest, all the dorks. A blue land actually does cast Ascendancy here. Not that it really matters. Okay, well, 7 blue cards. It's not great. I'm just completely dead here, I'm pretty sure. Unless I like start missing land drops. I might actually just concede to a Malcolm. Well, there's a blue source. It's better to do this than hold up Spears. Because Spears has a good chance of doing nothing. Oh, they probably play a Charm or something. I don't know. This can find another blue source is the thing. So I can like Ascendancy with Spears backup. Which probably doesn't work. I think it's Harvest. Let's see if it resolves. It actually does resolve. Okay, so the mana base is not great for after you have 3 lands already, because I have a lot of fast lands. So, after the first 3, most lands are just going to be tapped. Okay, I mean, this never resolves, but it does resolve, so maybe they just have Sweltering, and they're not going to play a Sphinx. Could they die here? Yes. They actually could die here. If this is a non-creature. Steaming Sauna, wow. So they could be dead if they don't have Spears. Because I have Ascendancy, and then all of my spells are mana neutral after I play Ascendancy. And I can get to 6 mana with just lands, and playing the second Ascendancy untaps the dork. So I can actually just win from this. Spell Pierce is useless right now because... well, maybe it's not completely useless. I definitely do counter this because I have 2. Because I can't use Spell Pierce. They Pierce back? That's fine. They actually lose because of that, I think. Though I need to actually win. So I go blue. I don't want green really. Right, I can't really choose that. No, I can't. So I do this. I guess I do use green for like this. Sure. So if I draw an untapped land, I can win. And I have a lot of draws with this card. So what untapped lands do I have? I have a shock land. Which one is it? Simic? So I have blue, white, red. I guess I just do this. So I have a lot of looks, but... oh, there it is. So I think I just win right now, right? The game is just over? Because I go... blue, white, red. Play Ascendancy, untap, and now every land, or every 1 mana spell is mana positive. So I should just win. So I can just do Unending Whisper, and I still have 2 more Unending Whispers, and then I have a lot of looting going on, so the game is just over. Okay, yeah. Wait, actually this card is not the greatest. Because you have to tap your untapped creature, so it's kind of 2 mana to play this. I guess you could play like a Summoning Sick Birds to do all of them. I don't know. I actually kind of forgot that it was actually 2 mana. So I actually would have lost if I didn't draw that Breeding Pool pretty quickly. Okay, so it's just a matter of pressing the buttons or whatever, clicking the things. So the win count is just going to be Flesh and Blood. So the reason I don't play like, expansion explosion is because of this. I can't actually make that much mana. If I just have, like, one dork. Even if I play additional ascendancies. Though I guess the reason Eggsy doesn't is because of Verdant Touch for like infinite mana, which is literally infinite mana with the buyback, because any buyback card is. So actually, this is the only way I have to win if the only creature I have is the Caryatid, because I have no way to turn a land into a creature. I have no way to burn them out other than this. I guess, no, Niv Mizzet can still be lethal. You just play it and then play a bunch of spells, I guess. It could deck you out if you take too long to get it, though. But that does work. Flesh and Blood is just good, though, because it doesn't actually require much mana. So if you just have, like, 2 Ascendancies and 1 Dork, you're really not making that much mana, because a lot of your spells are 2 mana. So only the 1 mana spells make mana. So, I like that. And I don't like Verdant Touch, because, like, I feel like the buyback is just so irrelevant. Because if you're at the point where it's actually going infinite, then it doesn't really matter that it goes infinite. Like, I would rather play Wind Zendikon because it's 1 mana make a creature into a land instead of 2, if you're not buying back. And maybe Wind Zendikon is just good. It's kind of like a Fate Stitcher that you play from hand instead of the yard, which is definitely worse. But it's just nice to have some kind of like haste thing, so I definitely should be playing like Wind Zendikon. This is a good hand. Has a dork, which doesn't really matter because it's just gonna die. It's really only the hexproof one that matters. So I'm just gonna play Bop. No, it's just nice. I have Simic colors as well as white, so I can play Glittering Wish. Okay, double Bop. I could Spears to protect one. I probably won't end up doing that. Okay, they play an island instead of a mountain, so if they kill the Bop, they have to spend their turn 2 mana instead of their turn 1 mana. And maybe they just don't have it, because otherwise they probably would have played a mountain on turn 1, right? I want the potential for more blue mana if my Bops die, so I do it on this one. I mean, I can maybe just play a Sanctum Weaver next turn, and if it survives, I win. Though, do I actually win, is the question. Because, like, I don't have to counter a burn spell here. Though, if they play, like, a invert... Oh. The game is not over. The only way I win is if they just let Ascendancy resolve, but... No, I have to just play Sanctum Weaver, right? There's no way I can just not do that. Like, I could resolve Ascendancy, but if they just kill the creatures, then that doesn't really work. Do I wish? I could just wish. Might be worth it. And then the only way I lose is like Sweltering or something, or like a bunch of burn spells. I mean, I kind of like that. Do I find Ascendancy? I feel like I have to, right? I mean, that's fine. I don't need this at all. And they don't realize that I don't need it, so that's good for me. They could have a shock here. I don't answer it if they do. So if they tap out, they die. If they don't tap out, if they don't do anything, they also die. So they need like a shock for the Sanctum Weaver, and then... I'm not sure what else. Wow. That is... such a greedy play. I guess... So I guess they just didn't really have anything. I mean, they must have had actually just nothing. And I guess they just decided that bluffing an answer is just not worth it. Because if I have an Ascendancy, I'm kind of forced to play it regardless, because they're never just going to not have a counterspell if they have one already. But they're just dead now. There's no way I whiff from here. with the Glittering Wish. What does this make? Blue? Sure. So yeah, they do just die right now. Guys, what do I find here? I can just find whatever. Oh, that was bad. I should have kept that, but it doesn't really matter. So I could find Ascendancy. That would be wrong, right? Because I need more gas? I don't know, actually. I could find Niv Mizzet and play it. That is like... That would be such a terrible play, though. Because I could easily not be able to win from there. Is it actually just like Scar Scale? I feel like it's Ascendancy. And then I go... Sure. I guess I could have made extra mana with this. Okay, they just concede, wow. I mean, it wasn't over. I was drawing, 4 cards. Yeah, I was drawing 4 cards, and I needed to find something off that, and I was winning. But okay, I was not expecting to win that match against the control deck. I was really scared I was going to lose. But I'm now 2-0. Alright, it is round 3. Do not know what my opponent is on. This hand is... I mean, it has Sanctum Weaver and a Jeskai Ascendancy. Has an enchantment for the Weaver. It's not terrible. It's pretty bad into removal, I guess. But if the Weaver survives, I should just win. It's humans, I'm guessing. So, Thalia is a little problematic, but Sanctum Weaver does make enough mana that it's not that relevant. I think I should win this matchup. If they're playing like Boros, they could have Chain. Okay, so that is threatening. Or like, bad for me. Whatever. So I do just play Sisei's, because it makes a mana back and I can still do this. So I find Ascendancy. Is this lethal? It should be. I can't actually play a land. So how much mana is this? Do I have 5 mana? No, I'm 1 off. I'm 1 off. I need an untapped land. So am I ever dead? They can't flip Kithian. So probably not. They have to have like... I don't know, like they have Adeline into Flowering or something maybe, or like Thalia's Lieutenant. Let's see. Hopeful Initiate could also be really bad because I can't answer it and it gives them a way to disenchant both Sanctum Weaver and Ascendancy. So these don't really matter. Lieutenant definitely does matter. Okay, so am I dead? I'm at 12 and they have 6, 8. They need 3 damage, so I am probably dead. Oh, that's not good. Can I do anything here? Not really. I guess I play Bop, and then it... So I play Shimmer. No. I just play Ascendancy, right? I just go red. Do this, play a Bop. If I had an untapped land here, I do just win. Like a Breeding Pool. But like Breeding Pool... I have Breeding Pool and Basic Forest as the only untapped lands after turn 3. So that is not great. So I play Bop, and then I probably Jump Block, and maybe that lets me win. Because if I just have Weaver plus JAC, Jeskai Ascendancy, I win. Because I have 3 enchantments, so it's mana positive already. Despite the Thalia. So it's really just a question of, do they have removal or something? Plus 3 damage? Like, there's no way just Flowering and Lieutenant are like just AoE buffs do it. Because I can block a creature. I mean, like, Brutal Cathar would just win the game for them. Brave only does it if they have, like, Lieutenant. That doesn't do anything, I think. No, that doesn't do it. Do I have to block even? So, I think I do. They had exactly 3 damage there, and that's what they needed, right? So they have exact lethal right now. So I do have to chump block, but then I just win, right? Kithian doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's forced to attack, but I just win the game before combat. So yeah, this is 3, 5, 8, 12. So I should just win. Let's see. They F6'd through that. Doesn't really matter, I guess. So that's mana neutral. Okay, that's very good. Now I actually make 2 mana per 1 mana spell. I have to use Sanctum Weaver first. Okay, and I'm gonna find more enchantments as I'm going off. So they're just dead. I wonder if they concede right now. They shouldn't. They definitely should not. Okay. Exodia. There's really no need to rush. I'm not gonna time out. So I can take my time with this combo. I'll probably just win with Flesh and Blood. Do I get another Ascendancy first? I guess. It just makes things quicker in general. So I find... Wait, I already found Ascendancy? Oh, I did not realize that. Am I getting Scarscale, or am I giving... I can just play Niv Mizzet right now, so I guess I do that. It also means that Unending Whisper is actually 1 mana, because I can just tap Niv Mizzet. So I have to make sure I don't die from this. No, it's impossible to die from this. Because no matter how I draw the cards, it's going to be 1 damage per card. And I have 38 cards in deck. Save targets, auto yield. Okay. Don't know why my opponent is not F6. Maybe they don't realize it exists. I don't think they're new to the game, though. Why'd I have to auto... I had to press 1 for that instead of just auto-yielding. That's weird. Not for that one, though. Okay. Why are they taking so long? Maybe they have like a Flare of Fortitude? They should have... They would have already played that though, right? That would actually stop me from winning. This turn at least. I could kill their entire board and then just have the ability to go off next turn. Maybe even on their turn, though I don't really have that much instance. Well, if I played like 4 Ascendancies and I just had to miss it, I don't know. Probably not 20 damage, but... I should just go for Flesh and Blood already, that would be the quickest way. Okay, they finally concede. So, mono white humans, they're not playing red, so no pop, which is... I mean, pop is not that relevant because I don't really need that many lands to win with the combo. But I do play only one basic. But no chain for the dorks is the more relevant part. Like, they're not going to remove the dorks unless they have, like, Brutal Cathar or something. Or, like, Disenchants for the Weaver. So I do play Impulse, that's what it's here for. I almost played Hornet Sting, just because Thalia is the thing you care about, but... And I was like... I didn't know if getting a red was going to be that easy, and it's not really that easy, but... You're not really keeping hands in this matchup without a dork, so I can just expect to have a dork, and if I have a dork, I have red mana. So I think it's fine for it to cost red. I don't really care about anything else, do I? Is Repeal good? So I think I play less enchantments because Weaver can't get disenchanted, I don't know. I guess it does kind of matter for Thalia. Repeal could be bad because it's bad into Thalia, but I don't know, repealing the 1-drops is quite good. And it can be done through a Thalia with a bop, so maybe just 4 of. Dig could be bad because I'm never playing it before the combo. And I'm not really siding out many combo pieces. Like, I'm not siding out that many cantrips like I would if I'm bringing in Spell Pierces. So yeah, I do side out Dig. Dig is more... It's better for when you're facing a deck like a Control, where you actually go to the late game and can win from there. Which is just harder in general without a way to win without a dork already in play. But just being able to keep up on card advantage could actually win the late game against Control. Okay, so this is bad, I think. Like, normally this is possibly a keep. On the play, it does have, like, Repeal for a 1-drop, which they, like, always have. But, I think I just have to keep a dork in this matchup. Okay, now it's... If I had a red source, I would keep this, but there's no way I can keep that. So, I have a dork. I'm never keeping Dig here. Is it abundant? Or is it... Well, they're both abundant. It's one of the abundance, right? I want to keep Ascendancy, though I do need another dork. I don't know. I feel like I should keep Harvest instead. Because if I draw Sanctum Weaver, I have enough enchantments, because I already have another dork. So I do think it's the Harvest. And I do turn 1 because of Thalia, and just better for mana efficiency. Okay, I wish I could turn 2 that. It's fine, though. I can play, like, turn 2, Caryatid, turn 3, Impulse, Glittering Wish. They just play 1-drops. Oh, that's... Yeah, I mean, that is really scary in this matchup. And now I just can't answer that. Because Glittering Wish doesn't go to the yard. So that's going to be a 2-3. Though they might not hold up enough mana. I don't know. How do I beat that? And like for Wraths, I just have Fiery Justice or whatever it's called. I don't even have Clarion because it kills my dorks. It's like better when you have Face Stitcher as a potential dork. Maybe there should be like a 4-mana Wrath, but what even is that? Like you can't play Kaya's Wrath, Because it costs white, white, black, black. That's just not possible. I am so dead. Oh my, what? This is such a good hand. What the? Okay. This is actually such a good hand for them. It's not like... No, it is just over. I have to chump block. Like, I could play Caryatid and ping the Canonist. Kill the Canonist. But... yeah, there's no way. They just had the champions be huge. Because they just had such a fast start plus interaction. And even if they didn't have interaction, I was just dead, I think. Am I ever starting a Knife Trick? Like, I don't really care about Glittering Wish for it. But discarding a card is really bad, I think. I don't know, I'm on the play, Repeal is a lot better here. I won't mull to 5, hopefully. Like, I really need the Dork into Dork hand. That's really what I need, multiple Dorks. Ideally with one of them being Pop. I mean, it's only one Dork, but it is a Dork that can make multiple mana. I'm playing Breeding Pool first. Because I care about the life. So I'm getting white with the Ren Portal. I imagine. Best for Ascendancy. So I need them to not have a disenchant, but like if I have Hopeful Initiate, that's not really a disenchant. Like it's not going to be quick enough, I think. Oh my. So this is a pretty easy turn 4 kill, right? I just go Sanctum Weaver, and then they should just be dead. On turn 4, and Hopeful Initiate doesn't work on turn 3. Though it could actually. If they have Hopeful Initiate, they actually can. Okay. They can't turn 3 kill with that. But wow, triple champion. So I'm playing this. I'm playing Sanctum Weaver. And then I could go Glittering Wish, I could go Shimmer. I think I do this. Did I misplay? No, it's fine. I have 8 mana. I guess it's worse in Thalia for me to not play Glittering Wish. Like, yeah, I definitely should have played Glittering Wish, right? Because it makes it cheaper to play Ascendancy if they play Thalia, and they easily could. So that was a bad play, I think. Can I actually play Glittering Wish? No, I actually can't. No, am I dead? Okay, how do I beat this? Was not really expecting to face Canonist. I don't even know what this is for. There's not really a Storm deck other than Ascendancy, and no one is really playing Ascendancy right now. So I don't really know what it's actually for, but I guess it's just this deck. I actually can't find an instant. This is a sorcery, right? Both parts. Assassin's Trophy. I'm just dead, though. There's no way that works. I have to kill both Weavers. I mean... no, I have to top deck a Repeal or something. And even then, I have to kill a Sanctum Weaver still. No, there's actually, like, no way I win from here. What if I just... no, I don't think this is ever gonna work, but, I have to do this. So, the only instant is the trophy, and I have to play it. I don't have an artifact I can get. So it's exactly trophy. I actually was dead if they played Thalia too. Though I maybe could have gotten, like, Fiery Justice instead. and survived, but I definitely misplayed by not playing the Glittering Wish last turn, but I would still lose. It just has to be the trophy. And then, like, there's just no way I can trophy the Canonist. I have to block with both champions if they do that. And, like, the closest thing I have is trophy the biggest champion and top deck repeal, but I just don't have enough mana because I still have to throw away a Sanctum Weaver, and now I have to throw away 2 Sanctum Weavers. So I think it's just impossible. I would need a Wrath of God, which I wouldn't even be able to cast. So yeah. I don't know, they just had a really good start, both of those games, post-board. I feel like it should be a good matchup because they generally don't really have disruption. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like Ascendancy should just be able to be faster and have some interaction for the clock more so than White Weenie. But yeah, Canonist, I was really not expecting that. I don't know why they're playing that. I guess it's just generally a White Weenie sideboard card, even when you don't really know if Storm exists. Alright, it is round 4. My opponent is on Boros Legends. So I'm guessing they don't main deck Price of Progress. I'm going to assume they don't. So we do have Chain, right? I don't know, they probably have some kind of burn spell main deck. So I'm going turn 1 Breeding Pool tapped, turn 2, I'm not sure. Which dork I want to play. So I do need to find a Ascendancy. No play. Interesting. I definitely want to play the Caryatid now, because that kind of looks like a shock. The Forest is okay. Probably the best land because of Pop. Though, I kind of doubt they even main deck it. Maybe as like a one-of. So I can still repeal a 1-drop while playing the Weaver. I would have been able to repeal a 2-drop if I went with Weaver on turn 2. But if it died, I wouldn't have been able to repeal anything. Mary. So I can block that, and then repeal the Kithian. So that's nice. They have Luris, so they're not playing Force Senu. Okay, repeal is very strong here. Prevents the Kithian from flipping, and it's kind of just a bad card now. Just repealing a summoning a sick thing they can't immediately replay. Okay, so I play this on the thing that can't die. Or won't die. That is unfortunate. This does not look great. So if I find Ascendancy, I do just win, regardless of if it's Glittering Wish or not. And I have a lot of mana, though it's not like Sanctum Weaver, lots of mana. It's just having a lot of dorks in play kind of mana. They have the Flowering, so they don't have lethal next turn, because I can jump block. And actually, it's not even lethal unless they add like a haste. Okay. So I win? Yeah. Like I just go find Ascendancy, and then I have enough mana. Okay. So I go blue, and I just go Unending Whisper, and now I have a lethal, presumably. I could whiff. That is very good. Probably not whiffing now. Am I getting Ascendancy? The alternative is like Scar Scale. Actually, I kind of like that more. I don't have a problem with mana, so it's just gas. Maybe I play Abundant Growth first, though. Even though mana is pretty irrelevant. Okay. I still have one Glittering Wish in the deck. I can also attack for lethal. I guess it's better to do the thing that puts me up on cards first. That was incorrect. It doesn't matter. I guess I probably am just getting Ascendancy now. I guess they're conceding? Wait, I already got Ascendancy. So I guess it's just miss it. Okay. So, Impulse is good. Their Thalia deck. I could play Spears in this matchup. I don't want to. I don't want to play Seal of Primordium either. I doubt they have Canonist. What do I side in? Nothing? So, Ingenuity, again, not great against aggro. Dig as well. So, I just do something like this. Alright, game 2. 4 lands is not good. Has a Dork, has Repeal. Though the Dork probably gets, like, shocked. Repeal is good, less good on the draw, doesn't really answer Thalia. Doesn't have an Ascendancy. I don't think I keep this. I would probably keep it on the play. Okay, this hand is really good. Potentially. Does this ever win on turn 3? Because if I go turn 1 Growth, turn 2 Weaver, turn 3 I could play a fast land. Yeah, that could win on turn 3. I think I get rid of Repeal then. So, hopefully they just don't have the burn. So, Thalia does stop the turn 3. Okay, there's the Repeal back. No one-drop. Karizev, that's not a great play. It's good with, like, not Thalia, Flowering. Sanctum Weaver. So, if they just tap out, they die. Well, yeah, because I can just repeal the Abundant Growth or whatever. No, they had the shock. Yeah, that's what I feared. I can't win with just Bop. Unless I have, like, the ability to play multiple Ascendancies. But I would need one already in play for that. Which is just so annoying. Like, if I just went Bop into Ascendancy, normally I would just win because of Fate Stitcher, but now it just doesn't work. What is this name? I have blue-white, I guess. No, it's never green. I already have that. Is it mountain? No. I don't really care about that. I guess it's just like blue. I just repeal, I think. And then next turn I can go like Ascendancy plus Bop. Yeah, I like that. Should I? I could have repealed this anyway. I think it's better to hit Karizev anyway. So their hand is not great. It really just had Burst Lightning, which just happened to be really good because I was so dependent on the Weaver. And yeah, it's unfortunate. I just had the turn 3 kill if they didn't answer Weaver. And even if they played Thalia, I was winning turn 4 if they didn't have a burn spell after it. So, do they just have nothing? Okay, they have Kithian. That's still not lethal. I mean, I guess I am just going bot plus Ascendancy. So, all the 1-mana spells are mana neutral. Okay, that could be bad, because I can find a burn spell with that, or like a shock, removal spell. Though Flowering would force a block, maybe? Because they have a... yeah, definitely. Because they already have 7 damage. But it kind of looks like they have nothing. Maybe it is just burn, though. Like a shock. Price of Progress would be lethal. They probably... oh, it is game 2, so they definitely could have it. Exact lethal. They just got a burn spell, though. So, I don't think it's possible for me to win. Or, not this turn, at least. It's not impossible for me to win. Though, it is quite unlikely. Because I can't even Glittering Wish for something now. So, how much damage is this? 2, 4... okay, that didn't flip because they exiled the Senu. I need to block 1 creature to survive, but, like, I don't think I can really do that. Because, like, I need this buff to survive so I can win the turn after. So I guess I need to draw, like, a Sylvan Caryatid, because that can actually block and survive. So if I draw that right now, I could win, though I would have to pay a life to play it. So, I don't know how I can possibly win from here. Because I block a 2-power thing. I go to 1. And how do I win from 1 with 0 cards in hand? I could dig. I could Glittering Wish for Fiery Justice. Oh, I'm just dead. Okay, yeah, I was just so dependent on Sanctum Weaver and they had it. They had the answer. So I actually do kind of like Spell Pierce here. Over what, though? So on the play, so Repeal is really good. But what's bad? Is it ever Shimmer? I feel like Shimmer is not bad. I kind of want the extra guess. I feel like it's Sisay's, because I need to be dependent on multiple dorks rather than one, so I don't really care that much about Sanctum Weaver being too good. So I'll do that. Alright, it is game 3. I'm on the play. This is a very good hand. So really the only downside is it doesn't have Ascendancy, or a way to get it. But it has an answer to a creature, it has multiple dorks, so 1 burn spell doesn't end me. It does not have the hexproof dork. That's a bit of a downside. So I'm playing Abundant Growth first because it's an enchantment for Weaver, and I don't necessarily know what I want for Harvest yet. Well, I mean, it's obviously like a non-land, I guess, but I kind of wanted to play the thing that can draw a land first, because a land would be better earlier. Okay, so they have nothing that interacts. If I held up the Bop, I could have shocked that. I wasn't sure if they'd play something I wanted to shock, and Thalia would make it impossible. I don't want to shock the Isamaru, ever. I'll probably hold it up for this turn, though. As I said before, I play the one that can find a land first, even though I know I'm finding a non-land off Harvest regardless. So, now I play this. So I tap this for green. Okay, then. I mean, they can't answer that many of them. That's for sure. But I need to actually draw Something. No, what am I doing? I let them draw a card for no reason. That is bad. Do I still shock it? Yes, because it's like, what else am I even shocking? I don't really care about that. Like, I have too much mana for that to matter. So I just gave him a free card for no reason. That's annoying. That's really annoying. I could actually just lose because of that. If it's like Price of Progress or something. Can I just like draw an Ascendancy, please? Okay, and they have Thalia. Maybe I drew them that. Who knows? They have Kithian, okay. So, I have some ability to chump block. Okay, can I just draw a card with text, please? Like, any kind of actual dig? Like, I can't even play the stuff from the graveyard. I cannot play that. I just don't have enough mana, because I don't have any power. So it actually just costs 6 mana. So I can play like 1 in a turn and then do nothing else. So I'm probably just dead if I don't top deck Ascendancy. And even if I do, I'm dead. I can't actually play anything after it, can I? No, I can still play Unending Whisper, I guess. So maybe I just win if I do. But I think Glittering Wish loses. So, yeah, I'm probably dead. Because I just could not draw anything. Like, I just had infinite mana and I just could not draw any kind of gas. No, like, Dig Through Time, Ascendancy, Glittering Wish, the Sorcery Impulse. I'm not dead next turn, I think. They don't have a Flowering yet. If they have a Flowering, it was probably because I didn't kill the Mary, because they would have to top deck it, I think. I'm pretty sure they don't have it. But maybe because of the Thalia. Okay, well, I guess I just had to complain. Okay. Do I win? I have to play it regardless, right? So, I have exactly enough to play this. But can I play the next one? Yes, because I still have Sanctum Weaver making a ton of mana, unless they kill it in response. They don't. Okay, I win. The game is just over. Okay, just complain about your draws and you'll draw better. Okay, yeah, the game is just over now. Because what do I find here? It could be Ascendancy. Is it? I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, the game is completely over with that draw. I'll just find Ascendancy. I just have infinite mana. Alright, it is round 5. My opponent is on Lamplight Phoenix, which can win the game on turn 3, technically. I'm not sure. It's probably not consistent, because they have 68 cards. They need to draw 2 4-ups. So it's more like a turn 4 thing, I think. I don't know, I feel like I might want to keep this. It is a lot of mana, but it's a lot of lands. No Ascendancy. I would need to hit some kind of gas. I think I mull. Yeah, the sand is better. What do I put away here? Is it dig? It's probably a land, right? I still find a non-land with harvest though. And I do that on turn 1. They mull to 6. Weaver, okay. I could go turn 3 Ascendancy. So let's see if they cycle a card on 1. They don't, so they can't win on turn 3. It just isn't possible. So I have lethal on turn 4. That's pretty much guaranteed. I need to check their list for interaction. So they have Make Disappear, Spell Pierce, Repeal. Their only removal is Roaring Furnace, which means that it was potentially a misplay to play the Weaver there. I'm going to lead with Sisay's. So I think they have a counterspell. That's what their interaction is. Seems pretty telegraphed. And it's all soft counter magic, so I just need to get enough mana off Weaver to play Ascendancy with like 3 mana up. And that's how I win. Okay, I play this. And I play both creatures actually. So they have ill-timed, I believe, but if I'm winning next turn, it doesn't matter. But I don't think I can necessarily win next turn because I don't have like a cantrip now. I can't really play anything. But I do have 3 enchantments, so I have 5 mana. That's not enough for anything. It's 1 off dig. No, they have Sweltering. They weren't playing that before, I think. Yeah, they actually didn't have that in their previous list. Wow. If they didn't have that, I just win. Because I had enough mana to Ascendancy and pay for any counterspell, and then play Harvest and win. So they were completely dead if they didn't have that. Even Roaring Furnace, they were still dead, unless they also had Spell Pierce. But now, how do I win? I have to play a dig, and then I have to hit, like, Birds of Paradise? And then what? I don't really care too much about the Harmonized card. I probably shouldn't be a 4 of. I can still play a land, I guess it's Breeding Pool. Okay, I mean 2 dorks, that could be lethal on turn 6. So I can never win, can I? Maybe it's technically possible. Like if I play land, I have 6 mana. So I can play Ascendancy and then play another one, but I don't think it's even possible to win from there. Because I don't think I can have a card in hand after that. Okay, they can win next turn. They have Cryptic in their deck, so they can just counter the Ascendancy even if I have mana. I think I'm just dead. They're never going to tap out here. Unless they're just winning the game. And maybe they just... Yeah, it kind of seems like they are just going to do that. But it doesn't really matter. They can just hold up counter magic. Roaring Furnace. So no, I can't win. It's not winning for them, though. Maybe because they don't have a land. They could easily just not have both combo pieces. And they don't want to tap down just for one of them, unless they're sure they can stop me from winning. And playing Roaring Furnace is better than an altar. Though actually, they can't counter this. I don't think it's even possible. So I can just play this, and they have Devil's Pierce. Well, it is possible. I lied. What? I guess they thought I could win? But yeah, I just can't win from there, so this Pierce did nothing. Let's see if they have lethal, though. They would have to top deck a land. And they could just die if they don't have lethal here, but it's very unlikely. If I had a better hand, it wouldn't be too unlikely. But if they just had a counter spell, they could just counter the second Ascendancy and I wouldn't be able to win. Unless I found a Spears, which is not even in my deck. They could also just play a Sweltering again, or an Ill-Timed. and that would be pretty brutal. So what do I need? I just need to find another Ascendancy at some point. What does that mean? I mean, it could be lethal. But they have Cryptic in the deck. I can just replay Ascendancy if they Cryptic plus bounce the Ascendancy. Oh, I need to look at their list again. So I've already seen that their list is not the same as their most recent list on PennyDreadfulMagic.com. But they had two copies of Cryptic, and then it was just Make Disappear and Spears. It kind of does look like Cryptic though, so I don't know. If it's not Cryptic, I might just win though. If I draw a non-creature, and it's not Cryptic, I just win the game most likely. And what if it is Cryptic? I feel like I still have to play this. Okay, how am I... what else am I doing if it is Cryptic? Alright, let's see it. I at least get to loot regardless. Okay, it is Cryptic. They do bounce the Ascendancy, which is fine. So I just replay it. Repeal is very interesting here, because it can interact with their combo, though they do know about it. So they're not just going to go for the combo into open mana like that. It does kind of seem like they have the combo, to be honest. I guess I'll just play this now. I'm getting so unlucky with all these lands I'm drawing. If I was drawing non-creatures, I might just win, because even though it doesn't really go infinite, I could just draw it into relevant cards. I actually have nothing to say about this. Well, I have something to say about this. So I get to loot here, and I get to deny their draw. Okay. Interesting. We do this dance again. Still don't have a land, I guess. So the only Ascendancy left in my deck is from Glittering Wish. So that does mean I can't just go off with one Ascendancy unless I have enough mana to wish into it, which is only one more mana, but it's not really that relevant, but okay. So, So I do this. Ascendancy doesn't win here. Okay, I think they have a Phoenix. What else could they have? But there's a high chance that they have a Make Disappear or something. And Sanctum Weaver does just win if I have the mana, but so does this. It just also wins next turn. If I just have gas. And it wins this turn if I have a 1-mana spell. And it doesn't get Make Disappeared. They're looking for Spears. I actually win if I find a 1-mana spell right now. I think I won. I was really not expecting to win after that Sweltering Suns, but okay. I mean, it's not over yet. I only have 2 mana, and I have to find a spell in 3 cards. That was the wrong order, because I don't know what kind of mana I want. It has to be green. right? Because if I find Glittering Wish, I need to be able to play it, and I can't do that with blue mana. And there's no card that is 2 mana and requires 2 non-green colors. Okay, so I get Shimmer. Wow. Yeah, that's just game. Okay, that was a very good draw, wow. And the double Toptic Ascendancies. That was interesting. I should probably be keeping the 1s over this, but whatever. It does not matter. So I can't actually make more mana until I Glittering Wish for another Ascendancy. But I still make 1 mana off every 1 mana spell. Forest is not terrible here. I still haven't played a land. But it's better to just have spells. So I'm probably just winning without making extra mana by just eventually finding a Glittering Wish and getting the Flesh and Blood. Am I? Yeah, because I get 2 power from each spell, so it's fine if I do that. But I could also just find Ascendancy first. No, I'll just find the Flesh and Blood. So it is lagging a bit, and also the new client thing is kind of annoying for me to use. But I don't think timing out will be an issue, because I'm never going off in more than 2 games. Because I'm never going to go off this much and then whiff. It's just not really possible, unless I do something horribly wrong or have to deal with not having a win con that works or something. Okay, so I'm up 1-0. I think if I win this match, I'll probably make top 8 even if I lose the next, because at 4-2 there are like 2 or 3 people making it, and I have the second highest OMW of like any player, maybe, I don't know. I had the second highest last round, before last round ended. So I have high OMW overall, so I should make it F4-2. Especially if my loss is on the last round, my second one. But, Seal of Primordium can deal with a combo. Spell Pierce is an obvious inclusion. Repeal, it can interact with the combo. I don't think it's that important. It's just good at targeting like Abundant Growth, though. Maybe I'll cut 1. Sanctum Weaver, probably not the best. I don't think I can remove Dorks. Like, I feel like removing Dorks is not the answer to removal. If anything, you'd want more Dorks. Is Defense Grid good? Because they don't play that many counter spells, do they? Like, a lot of their interaction is just removal. And Defense Grid does nothing about that. Am I playing Dig? I feel like I should. Maybe not, though. It generally doesn't go that long like it did that game. Maybe I should just be cutting Whispers, because that card is just not very good. The Harmonize is not very relevant. Because it costs 2 mana, basically. And if you don't really need multiple of them. Like, if you have 1, you don't really need more ever. I don't think I play Seal. I just play Spell Pierces. So, what's the other card I'm playing? Sisay's? Repeal. I guess repeal. Yeah, part of the reason I don't want grid is because I have interaction of my own for their combo. Okay. I should check what they were playing in their sideboard last time. So I think the only thing they really had last time was Assault and Battery. Basically a 1-mana sorcery shock, which does kill 2 of my dorks, both of the ones without hexproof. This hand is interesting. It has repeal as interaction, and they probably don't have a turn 3 kill. It is definitely more of a late game hand, which I guess might be important, because like, if I try to have an early kill, they're just going to have removal and counter spells. Probably shouldn't try to turbo on the draw, especially. But if they cycle something on 1, they could win on turn 3. Because they can't repeal on turn 2. I have a cycler, of course. Do they play the altar? No. They cannot win on turn 3 then. I think I play the more expensive one first because it's just less versatile. What do I do here? I feel like Ascendancy is more important because they can't really disenchant it, I think. They have bounce spells, but those are kind of clunky, I guess. They're all 4 mana. I don't know. Dwarfs are easier to find than Ascendancy. And playing Ascendancy first is fine, I think, but I don't know, maybe I just do this. But like, if I just play a Weaver, it's just gonna die, so I feel like Caryatid is the only better one, maybe. Like, I should try to go double Ascendancy plus Caryatid. Okay, so they still can't win next turn, because they haven't played either combo piece. I think I do this first. Make disappear? Yeah. Okay. So like, maybe I don't really care about winning early because I can just interact with their combo for a long time. So I guess just neither of us are going to win for a while, though repeal doesn't actually stop them for that long, I guess. That is about to flip. Maybe I just repeal that. Or maybe not. So I see if I can find a dork here. If I do, I don't repeal. What am I doing? I cannot play an untapped land. Okay. Well, I'm not stopping that. I really wanted to stop them from getting a land more than anything. But now I can't. I really wanted a dork. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate. Like, if I had a dork, I could threaten lethal, potentially. Especially Sanctum Weaver. And they find a land. Okay. They can have lethal at any time, but they don't currently have it. Or they weren't confident that it would win, but I'm pretty sure it would. They wouldn't just not do it. No reason not to pay life, because they don't have damage. They're never going to win without the combo. Okay, perfect time to play this. I'll leave the Whisper. So I want a dork. Could take 2 dorks. I guess it's probably Spears, because they have like Sweltering and ill-timed. So I need to go somewhat quickly, because they are just going to take over if I let them Azcanta too often. Though I want to be able to like force them to tap down, so they can't use it every turn. They found nothing, wow. I guess they have a lot of like cycling creatures, so it makes sense. That's very awkward. I mean, I guess I Spell Pierce, but that's so awkward. They just pay for it. Yeah, like, I think I have to respect Phoenix. It just looks so much like a Phoenix right there, even though they obviously didn't have the combo before. So they would have had to, like, top deck it, or maybe they cycled, but... I actually can't do anything with a repeal, because it never does anything against the Phoenix, and they can just replay the altar. So that was a bad play. That was just bad. So I do this. Can I get interaction? No. None of these matter. I just get Ascendancy. Yeah, I think the Spell Pierce was terrible. That was such a bad play. I couldn't interact with them the turn after, so there was no reason to do that. So I should have just had a Spell Pierce, which would have been huge for actually getting my own combo through, if they didn't have the Phoenix. And they don't, so wow. That was just such a terrible Pierce. I would currently have a Spears to basically guarantee... Okay, well, I would have had 2 Spearses, so still quite relevant, but... I mean, if they play, like, Cryptic here, that's so good for me. Negate. Wow. Well. Okay, then. I mean, Double Spears would have been an answer. So, I guess I need to, like, counter draw so they can't draw into Phoenix, because, like, they can't draw into it with Escanta, so it is actually somewhat difficult for them to actually get their Phoenix, because they have to just play, like, a Dig Through Time or something. I don't know if they even play that. Some card draw spell, like Cryptic, I guess. I don't. That's not a card draw, really, but I don't know what card draw they even play. They play Cyclers, obviously. I guess I can't stop that, so maybe. But they haven't been cycling things, so I don't know. Okay, let's try again. I've been drawing a lot of Ascendancies. Another negate? Why? Why so many negates? I have 1 left in the deck. I mean, I'm just repealing the altar again if they play it. So they can't Escanta. They don't play it. Maybe I should have played Sisei's. I don't know. I mean, surely they don't have another negate, right? Surely not. Like, literally any other counterspell and I'm fine. That was bad tapping, by the way. Doesn't really matter, though. Okay, they do not have another negate. They probably don't have Cryptic either. I could technically win here. But I actually can currently interact with the combo. Well, I guess Spears does it, but I don't know, I guess, like, if I use both, they're tapped out. And I probably just win. Though, I could try to draw into another dork. Maybe I do. Also, the lag has been really bad. I do need to restart between games 2 and 3. Okay. That's quite good. It is a little awkward, though. Because now I'm forced to Spears and Alter, and if I do that, they can Sweltering. No, they can't Sweltering. I did not misplay, of course. Never mind. Never mind. That is fine if they don't have a negate. Sure. So, if they Sweltering, I die. If they don't, I win, I think. Or, like, land ill-timed also does it. Please don't. Yeah, and I can't repeal my creatures, because they... well, yeah, it doesn't really matter, but... If I had an extra mana, repealing the Sanctum Weaver would actually be really good here. So, we will do this game again. And they draw closer to Phoenix. That's so annoying. I think they were repealing looking for a land. If they didn't find it, they were dead. Okay, and they just had the combo already. And they probably still do. Okay. But yeah, like... They didn't have a land, they were dead because I just Spear Steel timed. I mean, is this... Does this even make sense? I guess? I'm dead if I have a land, right? And if I didn't do that, I could have had... Repeal. Also, I should have held up double blue in case I drew into another Spears. Okay, then. So if they have a land, I'm dead. If they go for it, they don't necessarily... Okay, I'm dead. And they do go for it, I think. Because they're not afraid of dying, I would imagine. Like, they could be afraid of the Sylvan Awakening or something. But should they be? I don't know. So, they pay... Yeah, I'm just dead. I am just dead. I needed repeal. No, repeal doesn't... I would need 4 mana. Which means... Wait, what did I pay for? What did I play after the Ascendancy? Or before? I don't remember. I don't know. I'll just F6. So if I F6 and then restart the client, is it gonna un-F6? I'm not sure. I probably should not test that. No reason to make them play it out, though. We'll go to game 3 and I'll restart. Alright. Barely got there in time. But it's game 3, I'm on the play. This is a very risky hand. Let's go. I thought I was gonna lose that game 1 for sure after that sweltering, and I thought for sure I'd win that game 2 until I had that double negate. But I did the opposite. So let's see what happens here. If I draw a land, I don't know. So if they don't have Spell Pierce, they never tap out on turn 1 though, unless they play a tap land, which they probably don't do. So I'm not sure about this. I don't think I can play Ascendancy on 2 even if I find a land. Okay, now they disconnect, okay. But I don't know, Spell Pierce, I would rather have just 1 copy of that. I do have to draw to actually win one Ascendancy, but as I've said before many times, I cannot win with just a single dork. I need like a win Zendikon. But if I'm able to get both of these in play at the same time, that is very good. Because even if they remove the Bob, I'm still just playing Spearses while looting a bunch. Okay, turn 1 Bop. Let's go. If I draw like a Sanctum Weaver, I do have a turn 3 kill. That would probably just get removed and I would lose. But like, what am I actually doing here? I'm just playing Sisseys, but I don't have a blue source. Oh no, I can't. I can't do that. They don't have interaction for 1 mana, I assume. So it's fine, I'll just draw like a untapped blue fast land, whatever. It was not blue, but I can play Ascendancy next turn, which is probably irrelevant. So they cycle. If they play a Altar, I go Ascendancy, and die to Phoenix. So if I find an untapped land here, a blue land, oh. This is lethal. Next turn. I have 1 Spell Pierce. They probably can't do anything on their end step. Okay. So, if I play Ascendancy and they counter, I have to Spears, and then it's not lethal. I am just gonna play a repeal right now. If they have their own repeal, they die. Okay, that's actually quite good. I just do this pass, and the next turn I should win, but they could have multiple counters for the Ascendancy, or like a Spell Pierce. And I could like double Spears, but then they have like Sweltering or Ill-Timed, so I really need them to tap down next turn. I probably would Spell Pierce in response to a Make Disappear. So if they tap down, they die. So they might just not do that ever. Okay, so if I find an untapped land, I win. That's bad. I wanted dorks, not 3 dorks in a row. So, I don't think I can play the Ascendancy here, it's just too risky. I'll just play an Abundant. These Pierces need to do some work. I'm so close to winning, but I need them to do something. Stop hitting land drops, maybe? That looks like something. It's just a cycle, probably looking for a land. They have 2 filters here. That could matter. Okay, so I'm repealing this, see if I can find like a fast land, or any land. Please just give me a land. I win. That is in fact the game. They actually have nothing. Well, they could have like double, triple, spears, whatever, I don't know. No, they just spend it all. Or no? Okay, so they have negate. They are just dead though. There's actually no way they can win. Because even if they have a Spell Pierce here, which it looks like they do, they still just die. So I think that's game. And match. Okay, they have the spears, but yeah, I just have the spears back. And they're dead. So now I can just go Abundant Growth and the game ends. So, just need to not time out, which is super easy because I have 3 dorks in play. And once I find another Ascendancy, it'll be even easier. Which is going to be right there. And I can just attack for lethal. So I'm just looking for like a Glittering Wish. Because once I play Flesh and Blood, I'll then attack. I mean, I could just attack I could have attacked a while ago, but no reason to do that when I could just do this. I don't know what I'm playing around, but whatever. So it's blood, target, whatever. And I'm now 4-1. Alright, it is round 6. I might make top 8 even if I lose. And I'm potentially facing the favorite to win the thing, Final Defiance. They've probably done the best this season of anyone, and yeah. I also won a 500 in season 37. Why'd I do that? That was not the play. I want to potentially resolve a JAC ascendancy even if I can't win with it. I'm gonna play this first, though. Let's see if they Spears. Because it looks like I'm looking for a land, potentially. Okay, I'm just gonna find ascendancy with this, though. So, I am blue with this. Potentially... Okay. Kinda wishing I'd main deck Spears now. Maybe I should go for a creature. They can't kill both, though. They could have split up to kill one. So if they tap down, they die. Wait, for 2 mana, what do they have? If they don't have a land, they die, because they only have Make Disappear. Like, they could make me tap down. Harm's Way is really bad here. Something like Porphyry Nodes would be really scary. But they're a creature deck. Which is why they have Harm's Way. It's good when you're blocking or getting blocked. So if they do anything here, they die. They need a 3-mana counter, and they have Charm, I'm pretty sure, and a Spell Queller. The Spell Queller just loses, I think, because then Repeal makes an Ascendancy and they can't really... Well, they can still counter the Ascendancy rather than the Repeal. I need to check their list. Okay, they actually only play 2 copies of Archmage's Charm, 4 copies of Cryptic Command, and some Spell Pierces and Make Disappears. And if they don't have Charm, they could have double Spears, double... like, Make Disappear plus Spears, but they probably don't. So I almost want to play the Ascendancy, because like, it's not really gonna get better. Like, if they have a Cryptic, I'm just gonna be dead. So I think I do want to do this. This forest is kind of annoying here. That is not a Charm, I think. If they had a Charm, they would play it. Unless they have, like, double Counterspell or Charm. And they're thinking about Spell Pierce. In which case, I'm probably just dead. Though, I could easily just draw another one. Though, if they have Split Up, and I tap for a sword... Okay, they just play it well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking about. I guess they have double other Counterspell. I don't know why they would... I guess they were just like seeing if I had Spell Pierce maybe, but I've never played the deck before. Yeah, this forest is so bad here. I just can't play a spell here because of the forest. Because if I have Split Up, I need to have this untapped. So I can choose whether to have it untapped or tapped. So I can only kill Bop with its Split Up. It's like, yeah, dorks are kind of good in Split Up because you can choose whether they're tapped or not, but only if you're not spending their mana. So I can only repeal a bop, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just dead because, yeah, I feel like I really do need to have main deck spell pierces. Because otherwise I just really have no way of actually resolving an ascendancy. Because they just hold the cryptic and I have no way of resolving ascendancy. Because they just never have to tap down. And I don't have a way to actually push through a counterspell other than just playing multiple in a turn. And it's not like I have that many. And if I do that, I'm not going to be able to win after that, most likely. And they can just also deal with creatures, like it's just not great. I guess I do repeal here, because if they split up, they actually kill their own creatures now. And I could win the late game, potentially. They can't counter it, of course. And now they don't have lethal. Oh, Thran Portal might give them lethal. Probably not. I'm not going to use it yet. So I think I just see what happens with Glittering Wish. It probably resolves. Because if I have a Ascendancy in hand and they play a Cryptic, they die. Can Niv Mizzet ever get there? I feel like no. I have... They're gonna know I have it, is the main thing. And it doesn't really do anything about Sphinx. It just trades. So I think I have to find wait. I already found it. That is... Well, I guess I'm doing this. Play the red one. Did they counter that? Surely not, right? I mean, I don't want to play anything on the turn I play Niv Mizzet, so maybe? But like, what is Niv Mizzet even gonna do here? Like, I play a repeal, and then I trade with Stoic Sphinx. I can't do anything about Malcolm, can I? I guess I kind of can. If I repeal it and then jump block. Not in that order. No, that's fine. Interesting play. Play the Spell Queller there. It's possible that was their only counter. Actually, that's why they were thinking about Archmage's Charm. They were thinking about using Spell Queller, which is obviously wrong. I don't know why they were really thinking about that. Maybe they weren't, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure they don't have Spell Pierce plus Mage's Spear, or Double Spears. Early it seems like they don't have that. But, I mean, that would make sense if for them to play the Spell Queller then. Though, I mean, it's just because I'm gonna play Niv Mizzet. I think they do have a Cryptic. Huh. I am dead here. They don't know about repeal, do they? I don't know. But if I repeal, I'm dead. So, yeah, I'm just dead. I can't draw anything, right? For one, I have some sideboard cards, like Impulse, and I mean, Impulse would just win, potentially. If they didn't have spears, but yeah, I'm just dead. Alright, game 2. I get to play spears. I do need to be concerned about Spell Queller. Impulse is good. It hits Malcolm, Spell Queller. I think I do play both. Do I play Grid? Yes. They're not really using removal, are they? I need to check. Yeah, so the removal is really bad. Like, Split Up I can play around by not tapping my dorks. Their single target is, like, Isolate, which only hits Bop, or, like, Harm's Way, which is useless, or something else like that. So the removal is really bad. I think it's just... So Grid is just really good, I think. Repeal... I don't really want to repeal their things. Maybe Impulse isn't that good. I don't really care that much about Malcolm. Though winning the late game could be relevant. I don't know. And Sphinx is like... It doesn't really matter if I hit that, I think. It's more like Spell Queller. Which could be extremely relevant. But how dependent are they actually going to be on Spell Queller? Ideally for them, they would just counter dorks with it. I don't know. I should play another repeal. Okay, something like that, I think. I'm gonna check my chance of making top 8 without winning this match. Okay, so I have the second highest OMW of the X and 1s, so I probably do make top 8 if I lose. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna try, of course. This is a very good hand. It's like a turn 2 kill kind of hand, if it was during the Ponder seasons. But I can't actually win until I find another dork. Which is just such a deck building throw. I should definitely just be playing like 2 Wind Zendikon. Just so I can go off with 1 dork, 1 Ascendancy until I draw the Zendikon, then I can start making mana. And just be mana neutral with all the 1s. Okay, so I play Bop, and then next turn I play Growth. No, maybe I just play Ascendancy. I probably do if they don't play an untapped blue source and hold it up. Which they do. So I just do this. Maybe repeal it? That sounds good. If they do nothing. Okay, never mind. GG. I have Spears plus Ascendancy. If I draw a fast land, I win. They could have double Spears. Well, that is an untapped land. Let's see what happens. This is a very good hand, wow. Just don't have double Spears, please. Wow, they don't even bluff it. That has to be a misplay. They don't even bluff the other Spears. There is no way that's correct. I mean, I probably would have just assumed they don't have it, because that's kind of my only option, but still. Sure. Is this correct? I have no idea. I think it is. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, repeal is just so good with this, wow. I actually, oh, that was bad. I just lost a mana right. Like, repeal, I actually would have lost if I didn't have repeal to go off here. I just would have ran out of gas. Okay, I'm still completely fine. I just have another abundant growth still. And grid is not useless. It cantrips. Okay, why am I drawing so many lands? What is happening? I'm actually gonna lose, potentially. What is happening? What? How many lands did I just draw? It's a 19 land deck. That is so unlucky. I mean, I guess I'm still potentially winning. Now, what am I doing? I should have played the Birds of Paradise. That was not the play. Could have had 12 damage and a thing. So I'm doing this because of Split Up. If I do it on tapped creatures, I still have enough mana to just go off. But that is so unlucky. And the same thing happened. So another player was playing Ascendancy against Final Defiance. And they were just going off, and then they had 19 damage on board of attackers, and they ran out of gas. And it was actually because Final Defiance misplayed earlier. Though that's not what happened this game. But now just like, I just got so unlucky. I had so much gas because I just had like double repeal with double abundant growth, which is just so unlikely to whiff because it's 2 spells, which is 2 loots with Ascendancy as well as 2 draws. So it's essentially just 4 draws. It's just so unlucky to whiff from there. I mean, I guess I can just play out every dork. But I don't need to. I don't play that, because if they have like Heliod's, they can kill it. And they can never counter it because of grid. So I probably still just win. I mean, maybe they're suddenly playing Wrath and I'm just dead. Though it doesn't matter if I play Ascendancy then. Well, it matters a little bit, because I would have Bop plus Ascendancy next turn. Whatever. So Split Up is actually useless here. It actually kills 0 creatures regardless of what they choose. Which is why I said Split Up doesn't really work that well. No way. Well, I am definitely not dead, unless, of course, I draw nothing, as typical. Can I not just draw every land in my deck? That... okay, what is that? That is... terrible. Okay. So, what can I do here? I just have to play the Fiery Impulse. I mean, I guess I could do nothing. There's no way they have another Heliod's, right? Another Disenchant. So I could just pass. I don't hate that. They could find a counter, but like it doesn't really matter. So I think I do probably pass. Like the alternative is I loot 1. If I don't find an instant, I lose my only way to be mana positive. So there's no way I can go for that. So regardless of what they choose, Split Up would kill 1 creature, so it's pretty bad here. That's why I killed the Bop, because they could... well, whatever. Because if they have like a different removal, I would still have 2 in play. Okay. Can I draw a card with text, please? I mean, do I have to go for it? Like, what if they have Cryptic? This is just so unlucky. I've drawn like... how many lands is this? I need to count. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 out of... I mean, it's not that unlucky, but like, the amount of creatures as well is the thing. Because I have like 11 creatures, I drew 6. And it's not the most unlucky. I definitely expect to get more though. Non-creatures, I mean. I mean, if they just have a counterspell for the harvest, that could be bad, if I don't find something off the loot. A removal would also be bad, but I have enough mana now that it doesn't matter. I guess they have nothing? They actually have nothing. Well, okay. Please just don't find me another creature. Oh, they do have a counter. Why did... what? That is a terrible play. What? If they had a counter, they could have just played it before the loot, so I couldn't find a Spell Pierce. If it's Spell Queller, it doesn't matter that much, but it's still a bad play. Because they're still giving me a look. Which is just not correct. But of course, I just whiffed again. I mean, I'm still good against split up. But now I have 0 cards in hand, so if they have a counterspell, they can just stop me from doing anything. But like, they can't actually interact with my creatures. So, and they don't have a disenchant currently. No like card draw. Okay, can I draw a non-creature at any point in this game, please? Like, they have nothing. I think they just have nothing. They don't have a counterspell, but like, what? I'm not dead ever. I could have a Stoic Sphinx and then a Cryptic, I guess, but if I have Cryptic, whatever. Okay, so, do they have the counter? It has to be a hard counterspell. Or it is completely useless. Cryptic is only a counter. I guess draw could draw something, but... Okay, I think that wins, regardless. They do have the counter. Is it Cryptic? It is Cryptic. Let's see what it does. Probably bounce the Weaver. Oh, it's just Charm. Okay. Does this win, though? Now I'm wishing I had Expansion Explosion. Like, what do I even draw here? It can't be Niv Mizzet. Wait. It's a removal spell. Okay, then. So, I just found a way to kill the Spell Queller. It's, is it Fiery Justice? Is it Knife Trick? It's just a Knife Trick, right? Wait, what does this do? Exile a creature from a graveyard. Is that useless? I think it is. Yeah, it does actual nothing, right? Like, I can just cast it for free, but none of my creatures have power. And it's still just casting one spell. So, getting the flesh does... just actual nothing, okay. So, no reason to get blood. Fiery Justice... it doesn't kill the Sphinx, so it's pretty useless. Like, is it Scar Scale? I feel like it's gotta be Knife Trick. And honestly, I am really worried right now that the same thing that happened to the other Jeskai Zenzi player, Eggsy, is gonna happen to me, where I just barely don't have lethal while I'm going off. And actually, that would be my fault, because I missed 6 damage because I missequenced something. I forget exactly what happened, but I missed 6 damage. So it's my fault if I lose. Because it would already be lethal, right? If I had the 6 damage? Yeah. Okay, so I just need to not find a creature. If I find anything other than a creature, the game ends. Well, the game ends regardless, but... well, no, not really. Okay, the game ends. Okay, I did not get punished. Okay, if I found a creature, I was missing lethal, but I still maybe won. Because any non-creature top deck would give me lethal on board, and they have 0 cards in hand, and they didn't have lethal. So I was probably winning regardless. I mean, because I could jump block as well, and then just draw like a non-creature the turn after. So yeah, I was probably winning. Even I still had a couple more looks if I found a creature. Okay, now I'm on the draw. I just keep this, sure. That was surprisingly close for such a good start well on the play. So, I mean, I did get really unlucky because, like, I had a turn 3 kill, right? Or, like, no, it was like turn 4 because I was waiting because of Spears, and then I just got really unlucky with drawing so many lands and creatures. Okay, game 3. Okay, I mean, this is a very good hand, I would say. Dig is pretty good for winning the mid-late game. If they tap out on 2, which they never do, I can play Ascendancy. So I play the blue one, that's just the best. Almost accidentally played the Abundant Harvest. Okay, so please just like tap out for a non-removal. I don't know what they could possibly tap out for that. Like, I don't think they play Search, and would they really play that when I could play turn 2 Ascendancy? I don't know. But I can never play it right now. That would just be a terrible play. Should I play around Spears? No, I don't think I should. I should try to bait the Spears, if anything. Okay, I like that. I just played that. They might counter this. They, like, F6 or something. So if they tap out, they do die. If they Spell Pierce, I can pay for it, but then I don't have anything to do after that. I can't continue going off. Okay, I mean... yeah. I'll do that. So, can I repeal something, like the Merfolk? I'm not sure, because like, if I don't draw a spell for Ascendancy, that's bad. I don't want them to draw, though, and like, it makes Split Up worse. I don't know, I think I don't... Does it make Split Up worse? No, it doesn't. So I think I do maybe repeal in response to Merfolk. Because maybe they're looking for a land. I think they mold low, or like to 5 or 6. Probably to 5. Okay, so I might actually be winning this game. I am gonna repeal that if they use it. And they probably do if they don't have another play. They're gonna play something. If they play like Charm trying to steal the bop, I will repeal it. There's no way they do that when repeal exists, though. They would just draw. Wow, that is... what does that mean? Do they have another one? They have some kind of counterspell. There's no way they play it otherwise. That is a crazy play, though. Why would they not just use the Merfolk? That is very concerning. Can I just get a Spell Pierce and win the game, please? That'd be nice. It would actually just win, too, because I have enough mana to dig, even if I find nothing. Do I repeal right now, actually? I think I do. I can repeal the Merfolk, too. Do I repeal the Merfolk, though? Like, if I use it, they just die. Most likely. If I get Milk and they just replay it, so that's bad. I just the Merfolk. No, I think I wait, if anything. Wow. What do I do about this? I play it. There isn't much of a reason not to, I think. Because there's no way they can actually answer this, right? I don't think so, because if they have Archmage's Charm or Cryptic, if it's Cryptic, I just counter. If it's Archmage's Charm, then a Spears doesn't actually counter it. Okay, that is the only way they could do that. I have Repeal, but I need an enchantment. So I can't use Repeal now. I guess that's why I held Repeal. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious they had that, but it's not that bad for me, I think. Maybe playing the land is bad. I think it's correct. I think I have to do that. So, Malcolm is annoying. The draw is irrelevant from the Merfolk. So they don't have lethal next turn. I have no pain lands. They would have to play like a Sphinx. So if I repeal Queller, I have Spears to protect it, so they would need some things. That's kind of like the same as last time. I need them to not have a Queller, or like... Charm plus Spears wouldn't do it because I would still get it in play. I guess if they had like a Heliod's, they would win. But if they had Make Disappear plus Spears, would that work? Yes. Yes, it would, or like just double Spears, whatever. Double Make Disappear. Okay. This is very tense. It kind of... This time they're spending kind of implies that they have 3 good cards. I mean, I'm gonna see if they discard a good card, like a counterspell. They discard a Seachrome Coast. What? Why did they think about that? So maybe they have at least one other bad card that they were thinking about discarding. They're tapping down. They died. They're actually just dead. Okay. They can't possibly win. There's not a single card that does it, by the way. I think it's actually impossible for them to win, unless I just get really unlucky with these. Okay, well, I was gonna win anyway, so that's cool. No matter what they had, I was just gonna double spears. Okay. So I repeal. Actually, no, because if I repealed the Queller when they didn't tap down, they could have just replayed it. So I was actually dead if they just held up 3 mana. And now I just win. They're just dead. Like, why did they do that? They know I'm playing at least 3 copies of repeal, right? Possibly even a 4 of. So why would they do that? I feel like it's fairly obvious I'm not setting that many of them out, since I have the abundant harvests, or growths, and the other enchantments, maybe. So yeah, they're just dead. They're just I don't think they can possibly win here. Like, Dovin's veto is what they need, and that isn't legal. So I just win. Unless somehow, well, could I whiff? I actually could whiff, never mind. Am I dead, actually? I might be dead. If I don't draw something. Actually, So if I spell pierce this, I have 4 cards, 3 cards in the graveyard. Ascendancy in play. I have only 3 mana. I can't dig. And I can't spell pierce anything, because there's nothing on the stack. I need to be able to use a spell pierce as just nothing. Or even on my own thing would work, I think. So, do I just like draw? I mean, I just pay for this. No, why didn't I use, no, I couldn't use Sanctum Weaver, what am I saying? Yeah, I have to just draw here. I still win though, right? Did I throw? No, I'm fine. I don't know if that was correct, but I can't block the Malcolm. That could be a problem. I do have double spell pierce, but if they use Malcolm, then they don't get pierced. But if they just like balance the Ascendancy, I can just replay it even if they kill the Weaver. How would they kill the Weaver? What? I don't know. But I guess like upkeep. No, not upkeep. Have to be on their. And if they draw, they can't. Malcolm is a lot worse on if they draw, because then they can't resolve a non-creature, because I just double spears. So they have to already have something in hand, that's really good, and then play it off Malcolm, which I guess might be true. So they can't kill me here. I'm pretty sure there's no way of them having burn. It would have to be on a creature too, most likely. But I guess it could just be... No, it'd have to be on a creature, right? Unless it was off of Malcolm. So this is completely fine. Oh, this is a lot closer than I thought. I thought for sure I was just 1. But now it's like actually really close. I think I do just win though. Because I don't think there's much they can do here. Because I think... No, because like if they cryptic the Ascendancy... Well, it actually doesn't matter, because I Spears twice. They pay for it twice. And... I just get enough gas to play Dig through time for 2 mana after playing Ascendancy. I guess like Disenchant off of this would actually just win, but Heliod's doesn't work. It needs to be like... yeah, their only Disenchant is probably just Heliod's. I guess if they have like Seal of Cleansing or actual Disenchant, they win. But even if they had that, I have Spell Pierce to loot, and then like play Dig through time, potentially find another Ascendancy. So it wouldn't actually end the game. I imagine they're dead though. Considering how long they're taking to think about this. Okay, it is cryptic. That is what I was talking about, but I am just going to counter twice. They're just... So, what do? They just bounce plus draw, I guess. They have nothing else they can do other than just draw. And draw does nothing here, so I just use this. I spell Pierce. And I have to spell Pierce again, so I guess if they have Disenchant, they still win, because I'm going to tap out. I mean, if they have a Disenchant, they could also just use it now, and he would beat Spears. Though I would play the other Spears in response to that. So Breeding Pool is useless because I'm at 1. So, why would they ever not pay for Spears? There's really no reason. They're never going to do that. They're always going to pay, right? I guess like they could have a better spell than Cryptic, like Disenchant. And if they have like a spell to protect that, like Make Disappear Spears, but like Spears or Make Disappear now is completely useless for them. They would have needed to already use it. And Make Disappear is also just useless, right? Well, no, if they played before I untapped, they could have played Disenchant and then held up Make Disappear. Why so many intense games with this deck? Just not expecting, like what, 3 or 4 intense games? What is the meaning of this? I mean, there's no reason to play Dig now, so... The game is over, right? How could they possibly win? They needed me to not have Spears. Also, I just have to play Dig now. I guess Negate could do it, but I'm still looting. So mana is never an issue. It's just gas, and they have to counter Dig for me to not have gas, or have like a spell, or a Disenchant. It's Cryptic, they die. Archmage's Charm, probably. They lose the game. I think they're F6'd. So no Spears, not that it would do anything. Okay, I got there. Oh, that was a bad time to do that. It doesn't matter. I am just going to play the Shimmer, win the game. There's another Ascendancy. I guess they're never going to concede just because it's the 500, and they might not make top 8. I think they're X and 1. They might be X and O, though, I'm not sure. So this eventually wins. They concede, okay. Okay then, I am in the top 8. Okay, it is the top 8. I believe I'm facing Azorius Tempo again. It was only like the most intense match of my life while my opponent didn't care. Because they were X and O, Final Defiance was. So they were going to make top 8 regardless. I did end up winning the Swiss, with Final Defiance getting second. So we could rematch in the finals. But that was a very intense match, and I have to do it again. So let's see. This is a very good hand. As I've said before, their deck is very bad at killing creatures, and they actually don't have split up in time, since I'm in the play, so they actually have hardly anything to do about my hand, because they can't do anything about the Weaver, and then I play Ascendancy, and, well, I can't beat Spears, can I? No, I can. I can beat Spears, and they can't counter this right now. So, against Spears, I can pay for it, but not actually win. And the alternative is Make Disappear. They have no negate main deck, though, I'm pretty sure. If it's Final Defiance's list, negate is just sideboard, I think. So, they died. They actually die if they tap out, and they don't do something about Sanctum Weaver. They could have like a Ringing Strike Mastery to tap the Weaver, which is not the best when your opponent has a Jeskai Ascendancy. And actually, if they use that, I could go infinite without Ascendancy. Because if you have 6 enchantments in play and you have a Ringing Strike Mastery, that's infinite mana. Let's see if they do it. That would be funny. It would actually be pretty good for them, because it means they don't just lose the game, like they would otherwise. They do nothing. Okay, so I probably just play Ascendancy, because they probably don't have any way of killing it in the main deck. So I can go like white. That's fine, okay. I play Ascendancy. If they have Spears or Make Disappear, I just pay for it, and then they can maybe kill the Weaver, but I still have a Ascendancy in play. And then I have a Bop. So this is very good for me. If they have nothing, they do just die. If they don't do anything about this. Which is unlikely. It's possible that they do nothing because there's no way, right? Like, if they have a Make Disappear, they do play it here, even though they know it can't be countered. But I guess if they don't have an answer to the Weaver, it doesn't matter. Okay, I mean, they do just do it, though. Okay, so, do they have Split Up? Or something else? Like, what else could it even be other than Split Up? I don't know. They just died, right? Unless they somehow still have a way to interact. But, I'm super mana positive right now. And I have plenty of gas with a repeal. I mean, they could, like, counter the repeal. And then maybe I could run out of gas. Like the last match in Game 1. Or was that Game 2? I don't remember. Where I just found so many lands and creatures. Surely that wouldn't happen again. That is a Spell Queller. So, what is better to repeal here? If I repeal Queller, I get a Harvest. If I repeal Abundant Growth, I just get Abundant Growth, and Harvest is better, so I will repeal. It's also better because I can attack for lethal. If I don't, like, fully go off. Though, that would require, like, Flesh and Blood, and then attack, to combine for lethal. And if I get a Glittering Wish, that shouldn't really matter. Okay, I win. I was a little worried about those draws. But the game is just over now. I do need to be wary of what I'm actually tapping for, because I only have one creature per spell. Or one color per spell. To be accurate. So I played the Glittering Wish. What do I find? I could find Ascendancy, I probably do, right? Like, what else is even good here? Like, nothing, right? Because I can't guarantee that Flesh and Blood is lethal, so... I go Ascendancy, and now I just have 2 non-creatures, as well as this cantrip right here. It's extremely unlikely to whiff. And now it's just impossible to whiff. So the game is just over. I wonder if they concede when they see the dig. They probably just make me play it out fully, because it's the top 8 of the 500. concession? No, it's... Okay, it is a concession. Okay. So I win game 1, that's good. Now I bring in the Spearses. I think I played double Fire Impulse just because Spell Queller is actually so scary. Because I just can't Spell Pierce that, and that's so relevant. So I actually bring in all of these. Now, what do I side out? Unending Whisper, I side out 3 of those, I think. Sizzays, I can side out like 2 of those, maybe a Repeal, and then probably another Repeal, and then I just do this. I think that's correct. I could do like 1 more Repeal, 1 less Whisper, or something like that, but I don't know. Maybe I could like side out Shimmer of Possibility. I feel like that's wrong. Okay, game 2. This is a good hand. It does not have a way to get Ascendancy, and it has very little draw. But Dorks plus the defense grid is just so good here. They do have disenchants, so that does deal with grid. But it doesn't mean they're not using those disenchants on the Ascendancy. And mostly I just like the Dork situation. So turn 1 bop. Like, if I find an Ascendancy, it's pretty hard for them to stop me from winning on turn 4. Ooh. Don't want to do that right now. I think I play Seachrome Coast because if I draw a fast land, I want to play it next turn and then still have an untapped land with the Breeding Pool. No, I do not want to do that. I want to do this. So, defense grid is pretty funny against Lore Master. Kind of just turns it off. So, Ascendancy is potentially lethal, though I can't actually like do anything. I kind of like drawing here, actually. Because I can, like, do this and then hold up Spears on their turn. And I just kind of need card draw to actually find the Ascendancy and win. Like, I do want to get the grid down so they can't actually take advantage of their Lore Master, but I don't know that it really matters how early I get it down because I can try to just, like, play it the same turn as Ascendancy. That might be better. Because I can also have Spears with it. I don't know if I have that much mana, though. They do Spell Queller, okay. So the shocks are actually going to matter potentially. I cannot do that right now. So I lead with Grid. See what they have to say about this. I'll Spears a Cryptic. I'm just going to play the Caryatid, I think. I do kind of get destroyed by Split Up then, because they just do tapped creatures, so I don't know. Negate. I can't really repeal right now. So I do this, hold up Spears. And I can actually block the 2 damage, which is actually extremely relevant here because they have a really slow clock right now if they don't have the multiple 2-power creatures. Because it's 5 turns with just Queller. Well, it could be a lot better if they played like a Sphinx. I am going to take the draw if I don't find something. Yeah, no reason not to take the draw there. So I could just play the dig. Oh, actually, if I play Sphinx, then I'm nearly dead. But I don't think I can do anything about that. Okay, what is that? I can't do anything about that. I mean, I guess it's nice that Lore Master means I can actually just interact on their turn. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I can't play Dig now. That's really bad. I guess it's not that relevant, maybe? It is nice that they can't really interact with the repealer right now. But I can't hit Queller. Can I hit the Werefox? I mean, it kind of just gets replayed, but then it costs mana, so I don't know. Maybe? Not like that. I'm just tapping all of these. Wait, what am I doing? I did not think about the ability, but it doesn't really matter. They pay mana to not get it in hand, and I still get the creature back. So all it does is deny the draw, which is relevant, extremely relevant, but I don't know if they realize. And I don't know how much they care about the mana. They probably care quite a lot. Okay, so Jeskai Ascendancy probably just wins on the spot. Ooh. I feel like do I take the draw? I don't think I can. I have to just, like, play Shimmer and stuff. See if I can get a Ascendancy. Oh, that's bad. That's so bad. Is Spears even good here? I don't think it is. That's an abysmal Shimmer. Wow. Whisper. Just play all my sorceries. Play that, I guess. And then see if I can win next turn. I can dig with some safety. Also, Fiery Impulse off of Weaver is interesting. What do I hit, though? Probably just the Werefox. They play Queller, okay. It's still not quite lethal. With Cryptic it could be, but that does get pierced and then they tap out. I might need to interact right now. Which one is this? They're both the same. Okay. Wait, I threw. No, it's fine. I still don't die. I forgot about the Colonnade, though. But if they play like a Cryptic, they can't activate it, so it's fine. I can just block with a Bop if they do that. Did they draw? I assume they did, but I don't actually know. They did, okay. So if I play Dig, I die? That's cool. They just do nothing and win, right? Like, how do I possibly win from here? I can't even play the Dig. I'm just dead. I have some protection, but it just... There's no way. They have too many cards from this Lore Master. So I do Abundant Harvest into a non-land. And now I can play Grid or Dig for 2. 2 mana. That is a really bad draw. But I do this. If I have Cryptic, I can double Spears, but if it's Charm, I just die. So, it needs to be Cryptic, and if they have a Charm and a Cryptic, they always use Charm, right? Oh. They obviously have something, right? And I'm always dead. I can't survive this. What can I do? Ascendancy... with 3 mana up? I need a 1. I can't take a 1, though. I have to take abundant growth, but I could whiff. No, because I can spell pierce it. Okay, that's fine. I have to take growth over wish, though. But I can just spell pierce the abundant growth after untapping my creatures. Oh, I also have Sanctum Weaver, so it doesn't matter. No, it wouldn't let me play the wish because it's only one color. So please just play a cryptic. No, I died. Unfortunate. There's nothing I can do about this. I mean, I wonder if they ever just... No, there's no way they ever don't pay, right? I guess if they have Spell Queller, but if they have Spell Queller, I'm still just dead, so it doesn't matter. If they have Spell Queller, they probably shouldn't pay. But either way, they're just winning. I'm just making them do it. Okay, so they eventually paid for it, after tanking for a while. Let's see what they say about the second one. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, if they pay for it, they win. If they don't pay for it, and play some other thing that's relevant, they win. Like, the only way they lose is if they don't pay for it and let the Ascendancy resolve. Which, obviously, they're not going to do. They play their own spears. So if I had extra mana, I could be fine, but obviously, I can't get that. So no one is going to time out this match. That was game 2. If anything, I want another repeal into play. I still want impulses, though. Could be dig, it's just so hard for that to be relevant, because there's too many, like, enchantments that don't go to the graveyard. And on the play, it's probably less likely to go to the late game. It's more likely to be... It's a lot easier for me to get, like, an early kill. So I'll do this. Okay, game 3. I have to keep this. This is so good. Potentially. It really wants to draw land. Like, it's actually so much worse if it doesn't draw land. It's such an easy turn 3 kill if I'm able to go like turn 1 Bop, turn 2 Weaver plus growth. But if I'm not able to get a growth down on turn 2, Weaver just doesn't make as much mana, so it's just so much worse. I mean, I have the gas to win, most likely. It doesn't matter that this Thran Portal isn't monocolored. If it was a fast land, it would be the same. This hand. So they can't have anything here. They can have spears, but it doesn't matter. Okay, like, do I play growth? I feel like I can't. But if I draw a land, like, if I draw a land off the growth, and can play the Weaver, I just win on turn 3, and there's really nothing they can do to stop me, because I have spears. But if I don't find the land, I'm just playing double growth, and if I still don't find a land, I'd kind of just lose. If I do find a land after the second one, I mean, that's okay. I think it's way better to Weaver. I don't need the nuts to win. Like, just having Spell Pierce here is just so good. But I do kind of... Like, the thing is, if I draw land, I still can just play Ascendancy and have Spell Pierce. While playing around the Spell Queller. Okay, I mean, that's unfortunate, but... I'm still holding up Spears, so they have to, like, hold up Spell Queller next turn. Do maybe Malcolm this turn? Nothing relevant. That is interesting. I want to use this. It's kind of awkward to do that, but I think I definitely should. Grid is very interesting here. I think it's very hard for me to lose. If I do, it's because I misplayed, I think. I just grid here. No, no, that was a bad play. Actually, that's so bad. That's so bad. If I have to use the Spears, I just die to split up. But which I've never seen from them. No, there was only one game against them, so I don't know. Like, maybe they don't play it in the post-sport. I'm not sure. They probably do, though. Oh, that's so awkward. Do I Spears? I don't... So if I don't Spears, I can beat anything other than Spell Queller. Or I guess like the Werefox could also be a problem. I don't know. It is like really bad if they Werefox though. Or just somehow remove the Weaver without me being able to Spears. Because then I just can't win until I get another Dork. Though I could probably just resolve Ascendancy. So I guess that's not the worst. They don't do anything here, right? There's no way they can. They know that they're just completely dead if they tap down. And I have Ascendancy. Unless they're that confident in their negate, I guess. So can I go for it? So... I have enough mana to play a Spell Pierce. Like, if they have Spell Pierce plus negate or make disappear, I win. And like, if they have Spell Queller, I can still just repeal it later, so it's not like I'm losing my card. So I think I do want to just play this. It's fine if they get Spell Queller. Is Werefox worse? I'm not really sure. Yeah, they have it. Okay. I mean, I kind of expected that, but... No. Play the Razor Verge. Play the Abundant Harvest. Growth. Okay. So, Repeal wins. They can still Spell Queller that, I guess. Or Werefox again. Same things. Like, I feel like I was so easily winning, but now it's just... I have no idea. Like, I have stuff going on. I have a ton of mana for all game. But I don't know if I can get there. This is where I would love to have dig through time. Oh, and now I'm just drawing lands. That's really bad. That is terrible. So I have... Am I really doing this? Yes. It's definitely correct. It's just... I mean, I guess that's the upside of the sorcery cantrip. Okay. I don't have any plays, though, once I play an Ascendancy. Is the main problem. But, right now I do have the ability to go Glittering Wish, Niv Mizzet. That could be interesting with Spell Pierce. Though Werefox is the main problem there. Though, if I have 2 spells in response, or a card draw spell in response, then I could just ping it and kill it because it's a Banishing Light effect, not an Oblivion Ring. So I don't know. Wow, they just have a Disenchant, and they use it on the Sanctum Weaver. That is very interesting. Can't do anything about that. Have Malcolm as well. Okay. So, I mean, I still win if I find like an impulse. I don't win with a repeal right away. I mean, I still could lose to a Spell Queller, but... There's a land. That's a good sign, I guess. I can't really die here. I guess I could do like Stoic Sphinx plus Cryptic plus a land or a Spears. Out of air, okay. This makes paying life awkward. So if I get Niv Mizzet, that doesn't... I don't know if it really does that much. But like, if they don't have removal, they just get stonewalled, so maybe? Maybe it is just that. I mean, if they have Spell Queller, I probably just die, but if they don't... Yeah, like, Spell Queller is actually so brutal. Like, just from not getting Spears, it's just so hard to beat. Even though I, like, have 4 Repeal, or like 3 Repeal, 2 Fire Impulse. I mean, I just didn't draw them, that's the main thing. But, wow, Spell Pierce is just so important that Spell Queller is just by far their best counterspell. Also, partially, it doesn't care about mana. That's not like Make Disappear or Spell Pierce. I mean, neither does Archmage's Charm, though. Okay, so... I'm obviously countering back. If I have a Spell Pierce, I lose. I mean, if they just have it, then... yeah. But they don't, so... I mean, if they have nothing, it's obviously Niv. Actually, Fiery Justice kills both creatures, gets Ascendancy back. It's fairly appealing. It does get countered by Spell Queller, but they would have played that if they had it. So I'm pretty sure they don't have a Spell Queller. Will they play Charm? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, because they assumed I wouldn't have Spears? I don't know. So, the only options are Niv and Fiery Justice. There's no other option, right? It's not like Knife Trick. Ever. It's never Ascendancy. Fiery Justice is just better. So, they don't have Spell Queller, which means Fiery Justice is probably better. But, like... and I feel like they don't have Werefox. They would have already played that, I'm pretty sure. Unlike the Bop. Or the Weaver. Like, if I Fiery Justice, they could just, like, play a Stoic Sphinx and kill me, is the main thing I'm worried about. But if I play Niv, then, like, it doesn't necessarily do anything. I mean, if I untap with it, it does kill Milcom. So, actually, so the other problem, can I actually play Niv? I can play a tap land, and then I can play it without using Breeding Pool. And they're doing 4, so I'd be put to 3. Yeah, I feel like it's gotta be Fiery Justice. I do play the tap land, I think. I don't play the Breeding Pool, like, ever, so... I have something to discard, so I'm not gonna discard anything. Or, I'm gonna play out the thing. Instead of holding it for discard. That's a very big decision, though. I think I definitely chose the correct choice. But yeah, there's several ways I could get punished for both. I do kind of think their last card isn't that relevant. The most relevant it could be is probably like a Stoic Sphinx. I could actually win right here. Like, if I Fiery Justice, I get... no, can I win? I mean, I guess I can draw into Ascendancy and then go off from there. It'd be pretty difficult to have the gas while also doing that, though. Lore Master. I guess they could have already had that, maybe? That could have been okay to just play into Fiery Justice, but... I don't know. Actually, could they have a cryptic? Actually, they had cryptic, and if Izzet was dead regardless, right? If Izzet was just losing regardless. Maybe? I'm not actually sure. Because if they cryptic, I kill Malcolm. But then I probably just die if I have to replay the Niv. Because they put me to 2, and then they draw a card, maybe they can play something else. I don't know. And like, this does just lose to cryptic, right? Huh. Well, I have to lead off with this. There's no reason to like play around a buff. There's no way they have anything like that, right? So I just go 3-1-1. Okay. So I do this. Do they have a counterspell? Do I wish I went Niv? I still have Knife Trick, but... No, actually, Knife Trick does do something. I'm not dead if I get Knife Trick. So I'm not dead if this gets countered, unless it's Spell Queller. No, if it's Spell Queller, I actually beat Spell Queller now. Because if I have Spell Queller, I can play Glittering Wish for the Knife Trick, discard the Breeding Pool, kill the one with the Fiery Justice under it, kill the other two, get an Ascendancy and a Bop in play while they have nothing. And then probably win from there. Though, of course, there's still the top decks thing, but I have Ascendancy in play, so... They just have the counter, though, so... I mean, they get to keep the Malcolm in play, but... I do get to go Knife Trick. So... If they already had the Lore Master last turn, they could have a counterspell here. Okay, so... It's Knife Trick or I'm dead. Yeah, that was so unfortunate that they had the charm. But like, I don't know, maybe they could have just like stolen the bop and that would have won. Because I would have had to play Breeding Pool. I'm not sure if that would have mattered. I probably would have lost, right? Archmage's Charm stealing the bird, then I have to shock. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna untap with a Ascendancy. I guess it could be Disenchant, in which case I really wanted the Niv. So they do get a loot, so they get to look at 2 extra cards. They had like nothing before, I'm pretty sure. So they have 2 extra cards. A counterspell does just kill me, I think. Actually, if I find an instant, I can just hold it up. That is really bad. Okay, I guess I die. Maybe I should have just gone Niv, I don't know. Would I have lost? Probably. Anyway. I was just so close. If they didn't have the charm, they were just dead. I just needed them to not have that charm. Or Cryptic or something like that. Hard counterspell. Like, even if a Spell Queller, like, if it was a Spell Queller, I just win. That was such a good Glittering Wish, but then they just did not play a creature. So like now, the only out is like, I block the Malcolm and then I somehow go off with just this one thing, with no cards in hand. Kinda similar as last time, except I don't have the out of playing an instant on my opponent's turn to block the Malcolm. And there's no reason I would ever not play the Caryatid, because there's no way I'm answering Malcolm while doing nothing. Because I can't just win I can't do anything that comes close to winning the game with no creatures. Okay, they don't have like a Cryptic. Yet. So they don't have lethal. I mean, there's a good chance they just have a counterspell though. Would they have countered the Caryatid? They should have if they had a counter. If it's Make Disappear, it's useless. Okay, I mean, it's a start. It's pretty... It's not like... It's worse than just having a card I would find, but because the loot is nothing. I don't have any more whispers, so if I play another Ascendancy, I'm just dead. Okay, I mean, they just out a gate, I was dead regardless. Yeah. They just needed to not have that Archmage's Charm. Alright, so the Penny Dreadful 500 is over, and it was won by Final Defiance with Azorius Tempo. So Final Defiance was kind of the favorite to win before the tournament even started. They've just done the best all season. And they had a really high win rate with this deck before. Like, I think they were like 16-0 before the last tournament where they went like 3-3. So yeah, not very surprising to see them win. And this is their second 500 win. Actually, like 6 people were on this deck, I believe, maybe 5. And basically just an Azorius Tempo deck. You play the flash creatures, has a lore master, so it is a flash deck. And then just counter spells, some removal, using Split Up as a Wrath without actually killing these 19 creatures is really nice. I'm glad to see Split Up getting some love. And yeah, congrats to Final Defiance. So, I ended up losing in the top 8, 5-2 overall. I mean, I think this deck has, well, it was misbuilt, of course. I definitely should have had a better way of winning with only one dork in play. I think a Wind Zendikon would be the best. I'm not really sure, though. Maybe just a 3-mana card, Sylvan Awakening. But, yeah, I feel like regardless, though, it's pretty bad into control, and there was a lot of it today, though it was mostly tempo-ish, which I guess is probably not as good into me, because they don't have actual Wraths. Like, Split Up is so much worse than a Wrath. So, I'd definitely rather face that tempo deck than a more traditional control deck. But yeah, I feel like the deck probably isn't that great overall. Like, even against humans, it's kind of weak to, like, Hopeful Initiate and Thalia. Hopeful Initiate is just so brutal, being able to just disenchant the Ascendancy. Or one of the dorks, the Sanctum Weaver. So I feel like it's probably not really that good. But, I don't know, it's still, like, capable of doing really well, of course. So yeah, that is the tournament. I'll probably make another video for the start of Season 40 about what is happening in rotation. So see you then.